Well, just a taste of Glenn Gould's Goldberg variations there in that live studio recording. Wonderful to be able to see Glenn Gould. And we have a couple more visuals for you to enjoy during this radio hour. But I urge you to check out the complete 1955 recording if you haven't heard it. It's really a remarkable document. And Glenn Gould came back to the piece at the end of his career in the 1980s, recorded it again. And if you listen to those two recordings, you really hear some interesting things, thinking about Glenn Gould's development as an artist, his approach to Bach, even just the idea of same instrument, same musician, how can we take two different approaches to the piece? It's one of the things I love about recordings. I think we can assume that if different artists come to the same piece, they'll often bring different ideas, but it's really fascinating to hear the same artist bringing some different ideas to the same piece. So if you've got some time after you're done with this episode of Radio Hour, go check out both of Glenn Gould's commercial recordings of the Goldberg variations. Really interesting stuff. And of course, those are the recordings that help make the Goldberg variations such a big part of the popular imagination. But they have very much been a towering achievement in compositional history for musicians since they were written. In fact, Goldbergs are a little bit unusual in that they were actually published during Bach's lifetime, and keyboard players have been playing them continuously since then. That's certainly not the case with all of his music. So these pieces have quite a history of performance, and of course, since the beginning of recording, many, many recordings as well. What I thought we'd do next is zero in on some of the interesting contemporary recordings that are out there for keyboard. These are some of my favorites. There are a lot of different interpretations. So this is purely personal, just my thoughts on some recordings and performances that I found interesting. And we'll start with one of the harpsichordists of the moment, Jean Rondeau, a young French guy who is really a fascinating musician. He's got technique just all over the place. He's really an amazing player, but also brings a ton of imagination and personality to his performances. And I guess sometime here in the last couple of years, he was invited to perform the Goldberg variations as part of All of Bach, which is a wonderful project by the Netherlands Bach Society to record all of Bach's music and make it available in video format. If you don't know about All of Bach, Google it and check it out. I might even have to do a whole separate radio hour on that project. It's amazing. But we don't have time for that right now. We're going to stick with Goldberg variations, and we'll check out Jean Rondeau's complete performance of the Goldberg variations. I love the way this is filmed. He plays on an absolutely fantastic instrument. And as I said, just the personality and the creativity in this performance really exceeds anything that I've encountered in any other performance. It's wonderful. And again, just like the Glenn Gould, gives you a chance to sort of watch and listen and appreciate not only Rondeau's technique, but just the scope of this wonderful piece of music. So here it is. It's quite long. Listen to the whole thing or save it for later. Rondeau does the repeats, which doubles the length of the piece. So you really have a chance to get to know the music as you listen to it. Here he is, Jean Rondeau, playing the Goldberg variations for All of Bach.